All right, here's what's going on. We're gonna do 1 day of review today. We're gonna do second day of review tomorrow, and then what? No, then it's field day. And then it's, let me talk, and then it's 2 days of weekend, and then you're coming back and you're taking the test. We're not doing 3 days of review. That's ridiculous.
Oh, we should.
I am very concerned that some of you are, not all of you, but some of you, Jake, could you put the stapler back over there, please? Thank you.
Yes.
I'm very concerned that some of you are going to completely forget everything between field day and Monday. I'm really concerned that some of you will probably make a resource card, like I asked you to, and then you're going to lose it between today, tomorrow, and Monday. So let's not do either one of those. Let's not forget to study or review or whatever it is that your process will be to pass. Jake, it needs to be put away. I'm really concerned that you guys are going to not do well on the test simply because of the big break. Hey, let's just talk about the correct way of coming into a classroom, like what Dr. K is doing right now, as opposed to what Connor just did, right? The correct way of coming to a classroom is, one, you don't announce your presence, right? You don't make a big, bold statement, right? If you need something that's an emergency, absolutely positively, you make a statement. But if all you're doing is walking into a classroom, Maddie, Caitlin, Connor, Laura, I think that's probably it. Sometimes Madison, right? You don't need to make statements. If there's a student or adult talking in the classroom, you just take your seat. You don't make statements. It just gets people off track. Okay, enough of that. Back to the test. 2 days of review. As always, the review I give you is exactly like the test, like no joke. So as we do the review today, as we do the review tomorrow, if there's something like, oh, I'm getting that wrong, I don't know what to do, and you say nothing, Nathan, and you do nothing about it, then we already know what you're going to get on the test. The reason we do a review is to make sure you don't fail the test. Okay? Some of you need to do well on this test, right? Some of you need to do well on the test, and you can. It's not a hard test, pretty straightforward, but we got to use our time wisely. So Madison's going to pass out the practice test. Are there any questions on the homework? Yes.
9 through 12, I didn't understand them.
9 through 12, we'll take a look at, while she's passing that up, let's take a look at 9 through 12 on the homework. E-learners, I will pop up the video here in just a second. I'm not sure why you're talking right now. All right, 9 through 12 on the homework, the last homework assignment. For instance, the first thing that most people were doing when they were looking at the wrong spinner, they were looking at the spinner on the previous page, which is what were class exercises. So we're looking at the spinner that has 12 things on it. So question 9 says multiples of 3 or white. We have 2 basic things that can happen. You're either ME, mutually exclusive, or you're OVL, overlapping. Mutually exclusive means the 2 events cannot happen at the same time. So can you be, this is 9, can you be a multiple of 3? What's a multiple of 3? So a multiple of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. Well, those are the only numbers that would appear on the spinner. Multiples of 3 or white. There are 3 white numbers, and they're 5, 8, and 10. Does that match up with these? So could those 2 things happen at the same time?
Yeah.
No. So we are mutually exclusive. The formula for mutually exclusive is the probability of those 2 events is equal to the probability of, just on my desk, thank you. Probability of A plus the probability of B. So the probability of A was multiples, M-U-L-T, of 3. How many multiples of 3 are there?
4.
Out of?
12.
Okay. And it says the other one are white. How many white ones were there? I think it was 3. 3 out of 12. And we're supposed to add those together. So the answer is And that's it. Now, the next one, number 10, says the same thing, multiples of 3 or red. There are 4 red, and the 4 red are 2, 4, 7, 12. So the red ones are 2, 4, 7, 12. Are there anything on these two that are exactly the same? Yeah, 12. So the formula for overlapping is still probability of overlapping is equal to probability of A plus the probability of B minus the overlap. Now, they didn't write it like that. In the book, they say the probability of A and B. Well, it's still the probability of A was 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 12. The probability of B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 out of 12. And how many things are on both lists? That's what we're going to subtract. One of them. So minus 1 out of 12. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Minus 1 is 7 out of 12. It's the same answer. That was a good review for that. Yes?
Are we going to have a calculator on the test?
There was not going to be a calculator. So therefore, I can't give you a lot. Now, we'll explain here in a second. I'm going to give you a lot on the practice test. Each one of those mean, median, mode, and range will probably take you 5 to 10 minutes to do, depending on how quickly you can do it. We'll time ourselves when we do the first one. We'll see how long it takes. I'll warn you, it will take you some time. Course 2, the 8th graders, their book, the chapter they're on is somewhat similar. They do way more complicated stuff than we're doing. But they have a mean, median, mode, and range too. So they were taking the test, like literally in the previous period, I gave them 2 of those on the test. And I said, hey, you're going to be spending 15 minutes on the first 2 questions. Don't freak out. And I still had people taking the test like, oh, I'm not done the second one. It's already been 15 minutes. And I said, chill out. Box and whiskers and stem and leaf plots are easy to do. They don't take that much time. But mean, median, well, it's really just the mean that takes the most time. All right, any other questions on last night's homework? All right, I will collect it here in just a second. But I want to focus, actually, Madison, because I want her to walk around a lot today, is coming around to collect your homework. We are going to move on to the review. As always, my review sheets are exactly like what will be on the test. If it's on this review sheet, it will be on the test. The only difference is I will have fewer numbers on the actual test. Today, we'll do every single category. I mean, won't do every single problem, but we'll do every single category. I'll do one from each. And then tomorrow, we'll just pretend like it's a practice test. I'll be able to answer questions tomorrow, absolutely, but we'll just do individual work tomorrow. All right, Maddie, you get to pick first. Not Madison, but Maddie. Questions 1 through 4, pick one. Which one? Number 4. All right, who's the timer?
I have like a town.
Who's got a little timer on their watch? All right, tell me when to start.
I can start now.
Okay. So I'm going to try to do it at student speed. This is question number 4. All right. So we have to do mean, median, mode, and range for the entire test. Thank you for all 3 things. For the entire test, I would recommend that for every single problem, the first thing you do is put the numbers from least to greatest. Like, well, why would I do that for mean? Well, you don't need it for mean, but you need it for median. And if they're from least to greatest, it will help you find mode and range really quickly. So least to greatest, as we write the numbers down, we're going to cross them out. So what's the smallest number? Anybody? I would.
4.
Is it 4? So we write 4, we cross out 4. Next number.
6,
How many 6s?
2.
1, 2. So 6.
There's 5.5.
Oh, there's a 5.5. So we already made one mistake. And luckily, somebody caught it. Usually you won't catch it till the very end when you count the numbers and you're missing one.
7.
Then I think we would go
7?
Yeah.
There's 1 7.
7.5.
2 of those.
3 of those.
3 of those. Ooh.
Yeah,
There's the third one. Oh, yeah, right there.
And then 8.5. No, wait. Yeah, wait. And 8 and then 3 8.5s.
An 8. I need a comma. And then a bunch of 8.5s. How many?
3. And then 1 9. 1 9.
Let me cross them out. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Then cross out the 8, and then
Oh, did I
one-
cross out the 8?
cross out the 8, and then 1 9 and 4 10s. No wait, no 3. Yeah, 4 10s. That's a lot of 10s.
1 9s and 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1 9. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 14 plus 3 is 17.
No, sorry.
17.
Wait, no, wait, didn't you just say 17? Oh, wait, no.
Seven,
Oh, no,
two,
14.
seven.
You said 14. I thought you said 17.
17. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You're not guaranteed that you got the numbers right, but you got the right number of numbers. Okay. Pencil should be doing the problem. All right. Which one do you want to do first? What's the easiest one to do first? Out of mean, median, mode, and range.
No, median.
Okay. Range.
Oh, wait.
All right. Biggest, smallest, subtract. What do you get? Range is the biggest minus the smallest. So it's 6. So on your paper, you're going to put range is equal to 6. Anybody lost on range? Easiest one. What's the second easiest one?
Median.
I'm going to go with mode. I think mode actually is the easiest because there's no real true math. Just which one has the most one? Let's say I got 3 7.5s. I got 3 8.5s, but I got 4 10s. So mode is 10. You can have one mode, you can have more than one mode, or you can have 0 modes. Those are all possibilities. Yeah, median is the next one. Mode is just the one that is repeated the most. I've got my end. Median. Okay, median is the one we cross things off. So we're cross it off, cross it off.
What happens if there's
Then you can have 2. You can have 5. Cross it off.
like if every single number
Then, yeah, it's just a bunch of 1s, and the mode is 1.
if there's like 5 1s and 5 2s and then some like 2 3s, but it didn't want
You got it. Or 1 and 3, whatever you said. I'm getting 8. Is that what you guys got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how do you do?
Cross off the smallest, cross off the biggest, cross off the smallest, cross until you get to the middle numbers.
What happens again?
We're not there yet. Yes. Range is biggest minus smallest.
What if there's 2 in the middle?
So if there's 2, that can happen when you have an even number of numbers, and you add those 2 middle numbers, divide by 2.
Will you get the same number if you start from least?
Yes.
I mean, from
Yes.
greatest? to
Yes.
least? Okay.
Yes.
Unless there's 2, will
You can actually, if you do subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract. I mean, just be careful.
Subtract 5, subtract 5.
You could do that, right?
Subtract 100, subtract
Some people do that, right? They'll do like subtract 5. Well, there's a lot like they'll go subtract 5, subtract 5, subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract 1. You know, that would speed things up. Just be careful. What me, you know, I'm easily distracted. I'll forget how many I just crossed out. Oh wait, and that start all over again. We got a median of 8. The more important thing was, well, what happens if we wind up with 2 in the middle? We add those 2 and divide by 2. Questions on the median? All right, now we've arranged at the hardest one. There's 17 numbers we got to add. Are you listening?
Oh.
I would highly recommend do not stack those numbers. Why?
Because you'll forget it.
There's 17 of them that you got to stack. That means you're going to be adding 17 numbers. That's too many.
Wait, then couldn't you do like just, you know, would you just add 4, add 5?
That's
and then you do
that's
6
what I
times-
would do.
Then you do 6 times 2, 7 times 1, and then like.
But we just add 4 at a time.
Or you could maybe just add each of like the 4 times.
We could do that. That's a pretty easy one. There's 4 10s. I'm going to put a box around it. That's what?
40.
Oh, that was easy.
And then the 1 9 is 9.
Well, I would say, you know, at this point, you're not, maybe do these together. I'm just picking and choosing. I do have to stack them though, right? Be careful, some of our decimals. So I've got a 4, I got a 5.5, I got a 6 and a 6. And some people would say, well, then the easy one, 6 plus 6 is 12, so they'd write 12 instead of that. Okay, that's fine. And then they add. Well, 0.5 and nothing is 0.5. That's 9, 15, 21, 28. So I'm getting 28.5. Remember that one. And now I got to do maybe, I don't know, these.
Do 7.5 times 2.
You
Oh,
could,
wait, no,
but most people couldn't do that in their
7.5
head.
times 2 equals 6.
Maybe some people would have to stack them. So 7.5, 7.5, there's 3 of them. 7.5 and an 8. Where's it? Oh, it's not decimal. And then we add 5, 5, 5, that's 15. Carry your 1. 8, 15, 22, 30. Caitlin? I know, it looked like you were 8. Oh, sorry. Maddie. We're just adding 17 numbers. But we don't want to stack 17 numbers because that just seems like an impossible thing to do. I'm left with 8.5, 3 of them. This is a lot of work, and a 9. This is why I'm only going to give you one of these on the test. It's going to take, well, we're going to find out how long it takes us. 5, 10, 15. 6. I'm sorry, 9. We're not getting 6 for 9, 17, 25, 34. Now, everything I got to box around, I got to add. And I'm not done yet. I got to still do division. I'm out of space.
I hate me.
That's why it's to me. That's why I showed you that picture of that kid, right?
Probably.
So it's 28.5 plus 30.5 plus 34.5 plus 40. We just took all the numbers and we're adding them. But there's 17 of them. So normally we would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17. But you're adding 17 numbers. That just seems too much work. So how about we break it up into easier chunk sizes, add those first, and then add the result together. You get what I'm doing? I mean, if we wrote 17 numbers and then added them, you would have to literally add 17 numbers. That just doesn't seem like something you could do. Well, I'm just saying, this is up to you. I'm going to break it up to 4 or 5 numbers I'm going to add at a time. And then 4 or 5 numbers at a time. And then 4 or 5 numbers and 4 or 5 numbers. Get the results and then finally add here's all the results. We did 4 groups of whatever, 4 or 5. And we're going to add those together. That was easier. In fact, one of them was really easy. Or 4 10, so we did 40. 15. That's a 9. 13. I'll carry 1. 3, 6, 9, 13. I got 133.5. What'd you get? Let's see. That's a 9 plus 4 is 13. I'm at 133.5.
And we're basically done.
Which is an easy thing to say, obviously. Which is
Just not complicated.
no, we're not done. That's just adding them.
Now we just divide it by 17.
Now we got to divide it by 17. There's one of these problems.
Oh, crap.
Okay, so 133.5 divided by 17.
So you just add all the numbers up and divide it by how many there are? That's
Yeah.
okay.
Let's see. 4, no. 5, no. 6, 42. Oh, 6 is close. 7, 8, 56. I think 8's too big. I think it's 7. So 7 times 7 is 49. Carry 4. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 4 is 11. It's close. Let's see. Subtract and we get 4. We borrowed 1, so that, yeah, that's right. Okay. So we get 7 goes into 145. 9 times? No, 8 times?
Well, I would say 8 just to be safe.
Yeah, let's do 8. It could be too big. We'll see. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry 5 is 8 plus 5 is 13. Nope, that was perfect. So we get 7.8. That timer.
10 minutes and 49 seconds.
You're going to spend 10 minutes. Now, granted, I did a little bit of
Almost 11.
talking.
So I see 10 minutes.
I did a little bit of talking. It's going to take you 10 minutes to get one problem done. No. I'm just saying, the slowest person is going to take 10 minutes because I did a lot of talking there. You're going to be working. The hardest one is the mean. Hey, guess what? The mean was the last one we did.
Wait, so the answer is 7.9?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to put for the instructions. This one doesn't say to round to anything, but we got 7.8. Flip it over. What do we get? Flip it over. What's the range? Number 1. I'm sorry, number 4.
10. Wait, 6.
What's the range? What?
The range is.
Range is 6. What's the mode?
10.
What's the median? Okay, how long? We did not look at the time at that point. That took us probably like 3 minutes. We spent the rest of the time on the range. What does it say?
It says 7.885.
And we got 7.8. So yeah, we're good. Okay. I would not if you went that far. I'll make it nice and clear. Now, granted, 7.85 rounds to 7.9, not 7.8. Yeah,
Wait, I don't understand how range works.
just biggest minus smallest. The biggest number is 10. The smallest number is 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. That's it. Make sure that's in your notes. You don't want to miss that. That's way too easy to miss. Yeah.
So are we gonna have 1 or 2 of these on the test? 1? Okay.
And like I said, there will be a kid here that takes 15 minutes to do this because they'll be working. Oh, look at the ceiling. And they'll work a little bit. Oh, what is that person doing over there? If you're the person that's easily distracted, this problem will take a long time. Okay? Jake's shaking his head yes.
Actually, if I take my medicine, that's not at all.
Okay, well then I would recommend you do that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, but I also don't want you to be intimidated by this. You can do the mean, the median, and the mode the median, the mode, and the range like that. It's not that big of a deal once you write them from least to greatest. Okay? In fact, if you would like, and you can remember, don't do the mean at all. Leave it. Don't do it. Do the rest of the test and then do the mean. There's only one question. There's only one mean. So I'm going to give you one of these that looks like questions 1 through 4. 1. You can do the median, you can do the mode, you can do the range like that. So get that done. And if you're like that mean thing, I'm gonna mess it up. Well, then don't do it. Do the rest of the test, and then you find out, oh wait, I got 15 minutes left, then you can do the mean. If you don't have 15 minutes left, guess what? You're still probably better off because you finished the rest of the test, or you finished most of the rest of the test, which is the easier part. It's not that the mean is hard. It's not that hard. The concept of it. It's just a lot of calculations when there's 17 numbers. Okay.
Why is so many of these?
Are you gonna give us 20 numbers?
I'm going to give you probably like that. 15, 16, 17 numbers.
No,
Are you
All
gonna
right.
give us even numbers?
Give you even numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, I see why you're asking that. It'll be a mixture. Some will be. All right. That's questions 1 through 4. Questions 5 through 8 are stem and leaf plots. Soraya, pick one. Number 7. Okay. Timer. Tell me when to start.
You can start now.
Okay. Box and whiskers. I'm sorry, not box and whiskers. Stem and leaf plot, least to greatest. This is the only one you're going to write the numbers vertically, least to greatest. Okay. Smallest number. What do we got? By the way, these were former senators, most
Are
of
we
these.
doing all of them at one time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
It's on your paper in front of your eyes. Number 7. Smallest numbers. The 39.
Yeah, 39.
How many 39s? Is it 239? So you're writing these vertically. 39, 39. Next number.
40, 52, and 52.
I see a 42.
I said 52.
I see a
I
42.
see 50.
I see 41.
I see 50.
Is a 41?
Oh, 40.
There's no 52. There's a 41.
I don't see a. Where's a 41?
Yeah, on the third one, Mary's on the bottom one.
Oh yeah, there's a 41. She's from Louisiana. 42. I forget where she's from. Then what? 44. Susan Collins. She's from Maine.
Why do you know this?
Because they're all senators.
And
Big Brian. Wait.
Yeah,
I don't
don't-
even know where they're from and everything.
They're in the news all the time. Susan Collins is in the news all the time because she's a very moderate Republican. So sometimes she doesn't vote with Republicans. Sometimes she'll vote with Democrats. So,
How dare she?
Tracy,
Not
you're-
sure.
Lost her.
all right. Who's after 44?
Traitor.
46 and then 46.
46 and
Yes, there's 47.
it's just 46. And then 47.
And then, what were you writing for the steps?
No, 49.
First step, least to greatest.
49.
How many 49s?
Just one.
Just one. Don't know where he's from.
Then there's 50.
Two 50s, 50, 50, and 50. John McCain, he's dead.
Really?
John McCain, really? Can we get a moment of silence?
He was
for him?
from Arizona.
I'm dead.
His daughter, or not his daughter, that's wrong. I was about to say, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Who's Barbara?
His daughter is on the, there's a show.
President.
How are these actually real?
It's a show of women and they get around, they drink coffee, talk.
American Housewives.
No.
Who's
It's
Barbara?
a political, Whoopi Goldberg's on it.
Who? Whoopi Goldberg?
Cindy McCain, is that her name? Megan McCain, okay. Cindy's the wife.
Who's Barbara Boxer?
Barbara Boxer is a senator from California. After 50, what are we at? 252. So we got Boxer and I don't know who he is.
And there's a 54. And then 50.
There's a 54, Mark Warner, Virginia, I believe.
Angus King.
Angus King is, I believe that's, we got a 62.
64.
Alton Lamar, it's Tennessee. Least to greatest.
What about Bob Casey?
Bob Casey, I forget where he's from. 64 and 68.
Tim Scott. I missed 59.
I missed 59.
Yeah.
I did.
This 54.
Saxby Chambliss, he's from the south somewhere.
Where's
New
Cap-
Mexico.
Who is Tim Scott?
Oh, I know the name, I don't know where he's from.
Georgia.
All right, these are, there's still some of these in the Senate, but most of these are no longer, they're either dead or they're not senators anymore.
I have a
All right.
question. What do we do if we run out of room?
Like I did. This is the setup, this isn't the answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Stem and leaf plot, we got to make the stem. Step 2, Danny, pick the stems. We go to the first column. If the first column is different, those are the stems. If the first column isn't different, you go to the next column. Step 2 is we pick the stems. You go from least to greatest. So 3 to 6, those are your stems. So we write 3, 4, we don't skip any numbers, 5, 6. We draw a vertical line. Sound familiar? Okay. Now we attach the leaves. 3 has 2 leaves, 9 and 9. 4 has a bunch of leaves. Be careful. Don't try to memorize them. It goes 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. We're proportionally spacing these. Attach the leaves. 5 has 0, 0, 2. We just do them as order. That's why we didn't stack them from least to greatest.
Oh, wait, what?
There's 2 2s,
What's the requirement to go into the second column?
4, and is it 9? Is that the number I left off?
Yeah.
59. You can't read my handwriting, but 59.
What's the requirement to go into the next column, like to use the second column?
Yeah. So if these were all hundreds, like 1, 1, 1, 1,
Okay,
right?
so there has to be 3 rows and they all have to have the same number in the first row.
To go to the second row, right?
And what
And
if
then your stems aren't going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to be 1, 1, 1.
So also, could you have double numbers as a stem?
I literally you would,
Oh, okay.
because if the 1 was the
And
first one,
then could you have 10 as a single number as a leaf?
yes. Oh, so you'd have 1. Oh no. Leaves are always a single digit.
So you'd have 1, 0.
1 vertical slash 0. Yeah. All right. Question. Okay, this is the 3rd day of doing this, by the way. We pick the stems. The stems come from the first column. The biggest number, the smallest number is 3. The biggest number is 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we look at all the ones that have a 3 as a stem. Those are your leaves. 9 and 9. I'm just going in order, just top to bottom. 9, 9. Then I look at all the 4s. So the leaves are 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. All right. What do we got for 6? 2, 4, 8. Is that it? Last step, Danny, is key. I don't know what step we're on, 4 or 5, but the key, you pick any one up there, stem and leaf. Nathan, pick a stem and a leaf. Pick one. What? And a leaf. Don't think, just pick. Any.
0.
Nathan, pick. Okay, he picked the 5 and the 9. That's fine. So we put 5, that's the stem. The leaf is 9, and we write equals. What's the 5 and the 9 equal? 59. I'm not sure why you took so long to pick. There's nothing, there's no right or wrong answer. All right, what's your question? Hurry up. Time.
7 minutes, 35 seconds.
Now, I did a little bit of talking. I'm saying you can do this in 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 of these. So we got 10 minutes for me, medium, mode, and range. Actually, it was more like 15 minutes. Now we got 8 minutes for this with talking. So we're up to halfway through the test. And you're halfway through the test if I give 1 of me, medium, mode, and range, and 2 of these.
How long do you have to take the test again?
The full class period, 50 minutes, 50 minutes. Okay. Yes? All right. I gave you, flip the paper over. I just erased it. Flip the paper over. You can't see it any longer. Is that what we got
Yeah.
for number 7? Is
Adult.
that what we got? Your test is on Monday, not Friday.
It's on Saturday.
Adult.
Did we get what's in the shown in the back?
Yes, we did.
They chose a different number for the key, but remember, you can choose any number for the key. There are 2 52s. Are there really 3? Did we make a mistake? What's the answer say? 2?
It says 0, 0, 2, 2, 2.
No, there's only 2 52.
Look, it has 3 2s
Stop.
on the answer.
Are you on number 7?
You're number 5.
No, it only has 2.
All right, cleared that up. She is right though on number, the other one does have 3 2s. Okay. Hey, guess how much is left of the test?
0.
Half. Box and whiskers, 1 of those, and then the probability stuff. All right, pick one.
Me?
Okay, we're on box and whiskers. Madison's going to pick one.
Number 9.
Number 9. Academy Awards. Those are called the Oscars. The statue. The dude's name is Oscar. Some of these you're going to recognize. Some of these are like, what is this? Casablanca, like 1940. Casablanca. Most of these movies you won't appreciate until you're much older.
Titanic overrated. Titanic overrated.
No, Titanic is a really good movie.
From here to eternity, that's about World War II. This is about World War II.
I like
Forrest Gump has Vietnam War.
I love that.
Vietnam War.
This is the Iraq War.
It's an amazing
This is the Roaring Twenties, Great Gatsby. I'm sorry, the Great Ziegfeld, not Great Gatsby. Never mind. Godfather's about the Italian Mafia.
Good.
Yes.
Good
Nice.
movie. Good movie.
Titanic.
12 Years Slave, obviously about slavery.
It's like
What's the
French
Titanic?
Connections about cops catching people that sell drugs.
What's the Titanic?
I want to watch that.
West Side Story is about.
What's million? Okay, yes.
Anybody?
Wait, West Side, I've seen that.
I've heard
What's
of
it
it.
about?
Wait, I know.
$1
This is 1950 Romeo and Juliet, New York City,
Oh, he wants to see that.
where the boy and the girl are in different rival gangs, and they all want to kill each other. Guess what happens in Romeo and Juliet?
It died.
You got one family who wants to kill the other. It's the same story.
Except it's
What's
more.
$1 million
$1 Million Baby's about boxing.
Yeah.
I never seen
Oh,
it.
I've never seen it. Yeah,
It's about a girl boxer, right?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, it's a girl.
Some Dog Millionaire is about an Indian guy that goes on a game show and wins $1 million.
What's
something like
Titanic
that. Titanic's about
Titanic.
some rich
A
girl
boy and a girl
and
fall in
some guy that
love.
doesn't have any money and they fall. It's your classic
What's
story.
$1 million?
Romeo and Juliet sort of comedy.
It's
Like, it's way better.
Poor guy's like, hey, don't do that. And
All right,
he dies.
Titanic overrated.
No, it's not like that.
all right, let's do it. And I shouldn't have chosen this one because we get you all off topic. All right.
I chose this one.
Box and whiskers, box and whiskers. Here we go. Hey, I recommended that every single problem that deals with make the graphs charts, put them in order from least to greatest. So we're gonna put them in order from least to greatest. Go, smallest number. How many threes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
4 threes,
Make your step one list greatest.
least to greatest. The only one that you're gonna write them vertically is your stem and leaf plug. How many fours? 1, 2, 3. Is it any more?
No.
3 fours. 1, 2, 3. How many fives? I forgot to tell him to put the timer on.
1,
I already started it.
Okay, good.
4, 6,
1, 2, 3.
6 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No sevens. 1 7. 1 8 or 2 8s? 2 8s. And any nines?
10 and then
No nines?
it's a 10 and then
And then a 10 and then an 11. Okay. Okay. Box and whiskers. Step 1, least to greatest. Step 2, find Q2, that's the median.
Yes.
Find Q2, that's the median. So you got to do this a little bit lightly. Cross off, cross off, cross off, cross
Oh,
off,
I just crossed off above.
You can, yeah, or under.
cross off. You
Yeah.
can do it underneath, that'd work.
I'm so dumb.
Wait, second one is cross off for least to
Yep, you're finding, let me talk please, you're finding the median.
greatest. Yeah, you just did all that work to cross it out.
Exactly. Okay. There's Q2 called the median. This one has the most steps. So once you find the median, you're left with half on the left and half on the right. Okay. Now we find the median of those.
You what?
Okay. No, some people do a double cross now.
Or you could put a cross above and under it for different
That'll work.
ones.
Well, we're left with 2 numbers. What happens when you have 2 numbers?
What's 7 divided by 2?
3.5, and that's Q1. Some people do the double cross, some people go underneath.
15 divided by
Ooh, 7 and 8, therefore
15 divided by 2.
That would be 7.5.
7.5. 7 plus 8 divided by 2, and that is Q3. All right.
Where's Q4? There's
Q4 is where it ends. Q3 is actually where it starts. Where it ends is at last number.
So basically Q4 doesn't exist.
It does, but remember, we're breaking up into quarters. Here's your last quarter. This is where quarter 1 ends. This is where quarter 2 ends. So this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4.
That's but then why didn't they make quarter 3 where quarter 4 starts?
Oh, they could have. They could have.
They always make it where it ends and they confuse it.
All right, it is confusing. And I took a long time for me to wrap my head around. Okay, next step is we got to make a number line. The number line has to go at a minimum from the smallest to the biggest. The number line has to go from the smallest to the biggest, but you can go a little bit further out if you want to make your life easier. So what do you want to go from?
But there is a middle and
Stop talking, please. Middle is 6.
No, there's a middle. In the separate box.
Yeah, but there is an even number, so you're left with 2 numbers. You got to do an average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an even number of numbers. So you're left with the 2 middle numbers are 7 and 8. So 7.5. Okay. All right. There were odd number of numbers. Right? So you're left with, as a true middle number, 6. If there were an even number of numbers, then we would add 2 numbers. There was not.
Yeah, but on the left, there's.
Left is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. So we're left with 3 and 4 as your 2 middle numbers. So that's why it's 3.5. All right. My number line is going to go from smallest to biggest. I'm going to go from 0 to, I don't know, 12. I'm going to count by 2s. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's my number line. Tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. You can put intermediate tick marks. Those will be your odd numbers. Okay, it's hard to see. Now you got to remember. Richard, I would highly recommend you make notes. This is easy to forget. It's easy to do. but easy to forget. The box in the box and whiskers goes from Q1 to Q3. So I need to go from 3.5 all the way up to 7.5. There's 3. So 3.5 all the way up, there's 7 to 7.5. There's my box. Q2 is that tick mark inside the box. And then the greatest and the least, we said the min and the max, and we taught the class, are your 2 whiskers. So my two whiskers are 3. 3's right here. Ooh, really short whisker. And 11. 11 is right here. Ooh, really long whisker. If you look at the notes you took from the class, they're on there, including the steps. Okay? Flip the paper over, check the work.
8 minutes.
Yeah, but that's also because the more of these you do, the quicker it gets. One question at a time. Yes. Whiskers are your smallest number and your biggest number, and Q2. Q2 is right here. Yeah, but Q2 is that slash that goes inside the box. Hey, we did 2 days of this in class. I don't remember you ever once asking a question.
No, I don't. No, it's weird. I don't know how to do it. I get it.
Go for it. Okay. I was told that took me 8 minutes. So let's see. 10 for the first, 8 for the next 2. We're up to 26 minutes. There are 24 minutes left of the test. Okay. By the way, we talked the entire time. We talked about movie titles. It's not going to take you 8 minutes to do this. Okay. Yeah, I would say 5 for sure. Because you've got to put them in order from least to greatest. Okay. All right. Remember, this is day 1 of 2. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's just going to be you in a quiet classroom doing this work. You can ask questions, obviously. Tomorrow is when you need to prove to yourself that you can do this. If you're like Richard and some of the other ones that are literally not doing anything right now, then we're going to get to Monday and you're going to open the test and you're like, I don't know what to do. Okay. Let's do all of the by the way, just so you know, the answer to question number 17 is wrong. Okay. It's a good question, but the answer is wrong. You'll see why here in a second. Okay, we are going to now do all the probability questions one at a time.
Okay,
Listen, please. There are 2 things. There are odds and there are probability, different formulas. Odds and probability. Odds are the number of ways to win, to lose. That's odds in favor. Odds against are that thing flipped. Lose over win. Probability is how many ways to win over everything that can happen. Number 13, you got a spinner. There's 10 sections. What's the probability? No, these are quickly done. What's the probability of an even number? How many even numbers are on that spinner? Where are you getting a 5 from? Jake, where's your paper? Why isn't it in front of you? Hey, your head was on your desk. You're not doing anything. Let's go. Where'd you get a 5 from, Devin?
There's 5 even numbers.
Which ones are those?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's 5 ways to win this game. Probability isn't how many ways to lose. Probability is, well, what happens? How many things can happen when you spin the spinner?
10.
So what's the probability?
1 of 2.
1/2. If you want it, you do not have to change it to a decimal percent. I did put that on the answer. You don't have to. You do have to reduce the fraction. Very good. Okay. So 1/2, 0.5, 50%.
Reduce it if we put like a percent. Like if we don't reduce it, but we just decide that we
Yeah.
if we don't
So it turns out that if you take a non-reduced fraction and you divide 5 by 10, you get 0.5. So the answer to your question is no. However, if you leave it as a fraction, it must be reduced. Most people are not going to change it to a decimal in percent. They're going to leave it as that and reduce the fraction. All right, that's 13. Number 14. Is it a probability or odds question?
14 is
Probability, not odds. It says you got a spinner again. Once again, 10 spots. What's the probability that you get a number less than 7? How many numbers are less than 7?
6.
Out of, okay, this back to Danny. So what's the answer? 3/5.
60%.
60%. You don't need to do that, but Jake, not until we're done. Okay. How many questions we got left, Jake?
5 minutes.
How many we got left? Okay, here we go. We doing odds or probability? Probability. You got a bag of marbles. It says, what's the probability you pick a white marble? How many white marbles are there?
3.
I'm losing a little bit of focus here in class. There's 3 white marbles. How many marbles are there?
5.
I'm getting hurt. 5 and 8.
There's 8.
There's 8 total. No.
There you go. By the way, how long is it taking us to do these 3 probability problems? No way possible is that 5 minutes.
No, I'm saying
No, to do all 3, it's been like 2 minutes.
that's a lot.
And we've been talking, and I tell some people to pay attention.
You don't have to put it in the percent.
You don't. I gave you all because a couple people are like, always say, can I put his percent? Okay,
What happened to your little clicker?
it doesn't work on this problem. I don't know. All right, up here, please. Yes.
So for number 14, it says that the probability that you get number less than 7.
How many numbers are less than 7?
Does it include 7 and less? Or
If you're less than 7, are you 7?
no? Okay.
If it said less than or equal to 7, then it would include 7. All right. Hey, we're back to spinner. 10 spots. We're doing probability or odds. Remember, odds in favor is win over lose. Odds against is lose over win. Okay. How do we win this game?
By getting an even number.
Even numbers. Well, how many even numbers are there? Well, how many losing numbers are there? Which reduces to 1 to 1. 1 to 1 odds. Yes. The column thing? Oh, yes, gotcha. 1 to 1. Either fraction or colon. I'm just going to say you're never going to see odds in a real publication not written in colon form. They're not going to write in fraction form. I'll accept either one. They are literally the same. How many we got left, Jake? 2. 17, the answer is wrong. I did probability. I didn't read my own question. It says odds.
What's the answer to 17?
Well, we're about to do it. Read it.
Me?
What's the question? It's the same problem as the previous one. Read the question. No, the question.
Oh, what are the odds against?
Odds against. Remember, odds against. The answer is wrong on your answer sheet for this one. Nathan would like you to make it to 8th grade.
Really?
All right. Got to pay attention.
You just don't want to see us next year.
You're in the crunch. I'm not going to see you if you're in 8th grade or not in 8th grade because I'm not going to teach 8th grade
What
next
if
year.
I skip it?
Are you
All
gonna
right.
teach 7th grade?
Up here. Odds against. Remember, odds against are lose to win, not win to lose. Hey, picking a blue marble means what you do to win. Well, there's 2 winning things for blue, but remember, for odds against, win goes on the bottom. It's not how many things there are because we're doing odds. It's how many losing, and there were how many?
6.
So that reduces to 3 over 1, which is 3 colon 1 for Caden. Yes, Jake.
I finished all of them. We go to the bathroom now.
Well, let's get the last one done, and we'll be okay. There's 2
Bro,
left.
we're literally on the last minute before we. Never mind.
Oh, never mind. Go to the bathroom. Jake, I'll tell your next teacher you're late. All right. Hey, do the word. I need you to pass this test.
I don't even have to pass this order.
That's a dumb strategy. That is a dumb strategy.
Because now he's